Pilot Podcast. Welcome to Co-Pilot Podcasts. Ever wonder what happens when space technology meets open source development? Today we're diving into a fascinating digital prototype called the Giga Atom from Space LEAF Corp. We'll explore what this means for the future of space technology and why it matters.
And there's quite a bit to unpack here, especially when you look at the broader context of space nuclear technology development.
Let's start with Space LEAF Corp itself. What can you tell us about this organization?
Well, based on their GitHub repositories, Space LEAF Corp appears to be a nonprofit organization focused on space technology development. They have several interesting projects in their portfolio.
And the Giga Atom is one of these projects?
Yes, it's listed as one of their digital prototypes. From what we can see in their repositories, it's part of a broader suite of space technology concepts they're developing.
Interesting. How does this fit into the current landscape of space nuclear technology?
Well, that's where things get really interesting. NASA and other organizations are actively developing nuclear thermal propulsion systems right now.
Can you elaborate on that?
According to NASA's documentation, nuclear thermal propulsion provides twice the efficiency of chemical rockets. It's seen as a key technology for future deep space missions.
That's impressive. How does the Giga Atom concept relate to these developments?
Based on Space LEAF Corp's repositories, the Giga Atom appears to be exploring similar concepts, but as a digital prototype.
What exactly do you mean by digital prototype?
It's essentially a computer model or simulation that allows testing and refinement of concepts before physical development.
And why is this approach significant?
Digital prototyping can significantly reduce development costs and time. It allows engineers to identify and solve problems before building physical hardware.
That makes sense. What other projects is Space LEAF Corp working on?
Their GitHub shows several interesting projects, including something called Human Teleport and a morphing grid concept.
Those sound like ambitious projects.
They are, but what's particularly interesting is how they're developing these through open source platforms.
Can you explain why that's significant?
Traditionally, space technology development has been very closed and proprietary. Open source development allows for more collaboration and innovation.
Let's talk more about nuclear propulsion. What's the current state of this technology?
According to recent developments, companies like General Atomics are making significant progress. They've recently conducted successful high-temperature tests.
What kind of temperatures are we talking about?
The tests reached temperatures of 2,600 Kelvin. That's about 4,220 degrees Fahrenheit.
That's incredibly hot.
Yes, and these high temperatures are crucial for achieving the efficiency needed for deep space missions.
How does this relate to Space LEAF Corp's work?
Their digital prototypes, including the Giga Atom, appear to be exploring similar thermal management challenges.
What makes nuclear propulsion so important for space exploration?
According to NASA, it provides twice the efficiency of chemical rockets, which means faster travel times and more payload capacity.
That's significant for future missions to Mars, right?
Exactly. NASA sees it as key technology for their Moon-to-Mars vision.
Let's talk about the challenges. What are the main obstacles?
Material durability at high temperatures is a major challenge. That's why digital prototypes like the Giga Atom are so valuable for testing concepts.
How does open source development help address these challenges?
It allows multiple teams to collaborate and share solutions, potentially accelerating development.
That's quite different from traditional space technology development.
Yes, it represents a significant shift in how space technology is developed.
What other space technologies is Space LEAF Corp exploring?
Their repositories show work on space cars, air and sea prototypes, and various safety systems.
That's quite a diverse portfolio.
It is, and it shows their comprehensive approach to space technology development.
How do these different projects connect?
They seem to be exploring various aspects of space exploration and transportation, with digital prototypes as a common thread.
What role does safety play in these developments?
Safety appears to be a major focus, with several repositories dedicated to security and protection systems.
How does this compare to traditional space technology development?
The open source approach allows for more transparency in safety development, which is quite different from traditional closed development.
That's an interesting point about transparency.
Yes, it's particularly important when dealing with nuclear technologies.
Speaking of nuclear technology, what's the timeline for these developments?
According to NASA's current projects, they're actively working with companies on nuclear thermal propulsion development through 2025.
That's sooner than I expected.
Yes, there's significant momentum in this field right now.
How might this affect future space exploration?
Nuclear propulsion could dramatically reduce travel times to Mars and enable deeper space exploration.
And digital prototypes like the Giga Atom are part of this development?
They're crucial for testing and refining concepts before physical development begins.
What's next for Space LEAF Corp?
Based on their repository activity, they're continuing to develop and refine their various prototypes.
It's fascinating to see this blend of open source and space technology.
It really represents a new approach to space innovation.
As we wrap up, what's the key takeaway about the Giga Atom project?
It's part of a broader shift toward open, collaborative space technology development, particularly in nuclear propulsion.
And that's changing how we approach space exploration?
Absolutely. It's making space technology development more accessible and collaborative than ever before.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of Copilot Podcasts. Remember, the future of space exploration might just be sitting in an open source repository right now.
And it's fascinating to think that anyone with the right skills can contribute to these developments.
Thanks for joining us on this exploration of Space LEAF Corp's Giga Atom and the future of space technology.